Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd do a quick video for you on exactly what I'm going to have with me when we go travelling. As you might know, me and Abby are going to Australia in a couple of days time, so I thought I'd just go through what I'm going to take with me, what Abby's going to take with her, what you should have before you go, and then I'll talk a little bit about visas and insurance and other stuff that you might need to have done before you head out there. Although this video is obviously about Australia mainly because that's where I'm going, you can apply this to anywhere. So first of all, you need a decent rucksack. Now I don't know how much preparation you've done, if you're just looking at going or if you're already half packed or whatever and you're just checking out, but first of all you need a decent rucksack. So the rucksack I'm using is this guy here. It's quite big. So I bought this rucksack a couple of years ago when I went backpacking in Costa Rica. It's 65 litres plus 10, which means like the main compartment is 65, and then it's got two smaller compartments which are 5 each, I think. Okay, the next thing we need is a sleeping bag. Depending if you're going somewhere hot or cold, it depends on what sleeping bag you should have. This one's an all-weather, lightweight. So yeah, you might need a sleeping bag, you might not. Most hostels and stuff provide you with bed linen, sheets and whatever else, but you might go to somewhere that's not as good where you might need something like this. I know I stayed in a couple of places where it wasn't quite up to scratch and you just feel more comfortable in your sleeping bag, or they might make you pay for sheets and stuff like that, and if you've got one of these it's much easier. The next thing, first aid kit. Now before, when I've been travelling, I had just a little one, which was, it worked out okay. It depends where you are again. If you're somewhere like we're going to be in Australia, you're probably not going to need it, but if you're in Southeast Asia or somewhere else, then it might be more practical. But it helps out if you ever need something like that anyways. Okay, the next thing, as well as having a first aid kit, is probably make sure you pack sun cream, especially if you're going to Australia. One in three people in Australia apparently get skin cancer at some point just because the sun's so hot, so factor 50 definitely. Then we have, I've got a towel. Now it's a microfiber towel and it comes in a little case like this. I bought this from, I think it came from Mountain Warehouse, which is a really good place to go if you need to get stuff for your rucksack. The size difference in having something like that than trying to pack an actual towel is massive, especially as I've been looking at hostels, booking hostels in Australia, and that a lot of places will charge you. You can like rent a towel or buy a towel from there, but they're not obviously provided, so you're going to need to take one with you or end up paying out for it. Then along with those bits, I've got this little thing here. This is Inflatable Pillow. Again, if you're not happy with the hygiene or whatever, if you're staying somewhere more remote or somewhere not quite as clean, I don't know, then you've got a pillow rather than using what they provide. A water bottle, or you should always have a water bottle with you. This one comes with like little filters and stuff, so it filters the water for you. You can buy spare filters, which I have somewhere. So this is a bottle. And then you can buy these little filters that should be replaced every couple of months, keep the water clean and stop you from getting ill. Just a little something, again from Mountain Warehouse. This was super cheap. Just flight socks, earplugs and a neck pillow thing. But that was cheap, and as well for the flight, a clear bag, because if you try and take anything else or anything over, anything over 100 millilitres, they will take it off you, so make sure you've got something like that, otherwise it will get confiscated. As well as, actually, I should point this out, because this happened to me, if you're taking your first aid kit, make sure you put it in your rucksack and not your hand luggage, because if you've got things like scissors or like, I don't know, needles or whatever else in there, they will confiscate it from you and you'll lose it. That happened to me. So then I've got my shoes. Like, these cost me quite a lot, but it's worth having a good pair of shoes like these. I said you should wear something like this. It helps support your ankle, it keeps you dry, they're waterproof, and they're comfortable, and actually they're really light as well. So especially if you're hiking for the day that extra support is definitely needed. Another important thing, when you book a hostel, obviously I've spoken about towels and other things, but also they have lockers, but they do mainly expect you to provide your own padlock. So if you get something like that, normally they'll have them on sale basically, if you haven't already got one. But I've also got a head torch. Now when I went to Costa Rica, I did do volunteer work with sea turtles, and they needed you to have a red light, like red LEDs. But this is just a standard white LED head torch. But if you are doing volunteering with animals and stuff like that, bear that in mind, because they do expect red lights, because it doesn't disturb wildlife like other lights do. Then moving on to electrical stuff, I have my GoPro, and I have my camera obviously, which I'm filming with, and my phone. Now you might be able to pick one of these up from somewhere. I got given this as a present a few years ago. Like an extra charger for your phone or for your iPad or whatever. It basically is an external battery that you can charge up your devices with. But also this one's pretty cool, because if I take this apart, you can see it comes apart like that, but this has little solar panels, and you can plug them into the battery and just leave it out in the sun, and it will charge up your phone or whatever you're using if you haven't got access to a plug socket or whatever else. And it actually charges really quickly. It charged my phone up in about an hour last time I used it. Also important, a lot of people don't think about things like this, but for the most part it won't be a problem, because if it rains you can just go undercover. But now and again you might be in a position where it rains and you are standing at a bus stop, or you haven't got access to shelter, you need to be standing there and you're going to get wet. Obviously something like most rucksacks, like this rucksack, comes with a waterproof case that you can put over the top of the rucksack, and then it keeps it dry. But I've found that they only last for a little while before it soaks through. So that might only last a little while before the water starts to soak through. So what I've bought, or what Abby bought for me, was just a couple of dry bags. Basically the way this works is, if I took something like my phone and I put it in the dry bag, and then you can flip the top over, clip it shut, anything in here will now stay dry. Even if you could put that in the water and it's airtight, so it won't get wet. That will save all your electronics. And I've got a bigger one as well that I will have my laptop in when it's in my rucksack, because it's not worth getting these things wet, or chancing them getting wet. And then I've got obviously all my chargers and stuff. Make sure you don't forget your chargers. It's the most important thing. And as well as chargers for all the things you're taking with you, you will need, make sure you've got an adapter obviously for whatever country it is you're going to. And another important tip is, if you're staying in hostels and stuff, you generally only have one power point that will be next to your bed or somewhere close that you can use. But if you've got maybe 3 or 4 different things that you're trying to charge at the same time, so like I will have my laptop, my phone and my 2 cameras, if I'm trying to charge all that stuff at the same time, you need something bigger. So it might be worth taking like a what are they called? Power lead? What's an extension lead? It might be worth taking an extension lead so you can plug multiple things in at the same time, because you don't know how long you're going to have. If you're wildlife watching, it might be worth taking a pair of binoculars. I've had these for ages because I used to work for the RSPB, so I've got a pair of binoculars. As everyone knows, it's super important to save space in a rucksack. And with all these things, you probably noticed, like this is just a waterproof coat, but it packs away into its own pocket to save space. Again, they're not expensive. Mountain Warehouse is a really good place to go, because it generally, because they do their own brand of stuff, they can set their prices. It's not like a label brand, if that makes sense, that makes it more money for no reason. They can set the prices themselves. So things like that just save space. It's the same with the towel, and with anything else. So mosquito nets as well. There's my mosquito net, depending where you're going. Australia, you're okay for malaria and things like that, but you still don't want to get bitten, especially if you're going up to Southeast Asia or wherever you're traveling. A mosquito net is a good idea. So yeah, now you've seen what's in my rucksack. Most of the things that I'm taking with me, obviously I haven't included clothes and stuff like that, but obviously the shoes, a good pair of walking shoes is a must. You'll probably look at walking socks with that as well. I don't know, it's up to you. But moving on to Australia, if you are travelling to Australia, distractions. If you are travelling to Australia, then there's a couple of things that you should probably do before you go, and I've done them now, so I can tell you what I've been up to. So first of all, once you've booked your flights, or you've picked a day that you want to go, obviously booking your flights needs to be the first thing, but as soon as you've done your flights, you need to organise a visa. Obviously if you want to work there, you can get a 1-year working visa. You have to be between 18 and 35, I think it is. And you can apply for a 1-year visa. When we paid for ours, it was just over £200 each. I'll put a link in the description to where you can sort that out. You need to make sure you sort out insurance. The best place to go is, as a backpacker, it's quite difficult to get insurance. Most insurance companies cover multiple trips, but not one long trip traveling across the whole of a country or 3 or 4 different countries. Outbacker insurance is really good for that. Make sure you book it before you go, because if you try and get insurance when you're already out there, it's going to be a lot more and they might not insure you. And the other thing I've done, I've just unlocked my phone. Bear in mind, if you're out there for a year, you're not going to be using your phone on roaming. What you'll need to do is get your phone unlocked. Don't go to a high street shop and where they charge like £50 or £60 to get your phone unlocked. Do it through your service provider and it's a lot cheaper. Sometimes it's free. I'm with EE and it cost me £8.50 I think to get my phone unlocked. And then when you're out there, you can buy a new SIM card, put in your phone. It's a lot cheaper. If you're working, you're going to need to sort out a bank account. If you're working in Australia, an Australian bank account. You can do this before you go. I left it late, so I'm with HSBC, and you can basically, if you give them, how many weeks notice do they need? If you give them 6 weeks notice before you go, they can set up an Australian account for you, because obviously HSBC is worldwide. But there was a charge of £50, was it? It's £100 if you're not a student, it's £100. I don't know why they charge this amount of money, and then it's £50 if you are a student. Alternatively, like we've done, we've left it, and when we're out there, we're gonna sort it out. When we're out there, just go in and set one up between us. So me and Abby fly out on the Thursday, the 1st of September, to Brisbane, and hopefully a couple of weeks after that I will be doing vlogs, hopefully most days up until then, but at some point after a couple of weeks I will do another video saying what has been useful out of what I've just told you that I've got, what I might have needed instead, yeah, what I haven't used, and so on, just so you know. But right now this is what I have. I hope that's been a useful video for everyone. I hope you keep watching my videos. Yeah, if you liked it, if you want to see more, obviously this is the first time I've done this for 5 months, is it? When did I do the last one? I think I did my last one in March, so it's quite a long time ago. But yeah, if you want to see regular videos, we're obviously going to be travelling in Australia. The Barrier Reef, Brisbane is our first sort of destination, so I'm going to be filming everything. So if you want to see what it's like actually travelling, then yeah, just subscribe to me, and thank you very much.